I'm Kevin with Caterpillar here. We're here to talk about our next generation of compact track loaders. These are all new compact track loaders, 255 and the 265 model that we have behind us. Those two new models have lots of improvements and enhancements over our previous series. They basically kind of fall into three categories: more performance, more power, and more comfort. So when we talk about more performance, we're talking about having things on the machine to help customers get more work done. Some of those include our high flow XPS auxiliary hydraulic option. That gives you the opportunity to have a high flow, high pressure auxiliary system to run some of these more complex hydromechanical attachments, like the cold planer that we have here on the front of this 265. Maybe could be something like a mulching attachment, things that take a lot of torque to engage material, maybe tear through or rip through material and then recover. And so that high pressure, high flow system is very, very important from the productivity standpoint. So when we also talk about more performance, we're talking about more lift height. We've got 132 inches of lift height on the 265 behind me here. Those give you the capability to handle those loads up high, load those trucks that we've never had before. Other performance enhancements, we're talking about more breakout force and lift force for handling materials. So then when we also talk about power, we're talking about increased torque. This machine is going up significantly, about 43% more torque. And that torque is not only increased, it's a flatter torque curve, which means that as the machine is working and it starts to lug a little bit, you stay on power, have more torque across that lug. And then we've got more stability out of the undercarriage in order to handle those loads as well. So we've done some things in the design of the undercarriage and of the machine itself to give it a more stable feel. So it's more planted when you're doing those types of work. And it's even more planted and stable when you're doing things that don't include handling material, like grading, for example. The real message behind these is not only do they have more power, more performance, and the more comfort, you really have to get in one to experience these things. We can talk about them, but you really have to put it in your application. You really have to get in the dirt in order to experience that. And then we've not talked about it yet, but the more comfort. Our cab is increased in its size, so overall volume in the cab is increased by just under 25%. And then we've increased the space in the seat where the operator spends his time. So you've got more space between the joysticks. You've got more space between your hips. The seat, it is a high comfort seat that is also ventilated. The other thing that we've got in here from a technology standpoint is that we've got new joysticks. There are advanced joysticks. Yeah, so that little shovel button right there, that would turn you on into the pattern to run a smart attachment if a smart attachment were connected. Part of the beauty of the smart attachments is that it recognizes the attachment, and then with the press of a button, you switch the controls into the right control pattern. So if it's a dozer blade, it makes your right joystick into more of a dozer style pattern. If it's a grader blade, it makes that right joystick move in a way that is intuitive to control that grader blade, up, down, left, right. If it happens to be a smart backhoe attachment, then it turns those joysticks into excavator or backhoe style controls for actually digging with the attachment.
For the latest in construction equipment, sign up for our daily newsletter. Just click the link below.